Police say 36-year-old Ashley Stallings worked for Amazon at the Tuckasegee Road facility near the airport. She reported to work around 3 p.m. and allegedly left her 8-year-old daughter in the car for 3.5 hours, which experts say is more than enough time to do harm.
How's everybody doing today? Hope your day is going pretty good. My day is going pretty good. Got a story for y'all today coming out of North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, that is. Shout out to everybody in Charlotte, North Carolina. And also shout out to everybody in North Carolina. Look at this picture here. This is 36-year-old Ashley Stallings. Now, what Stallings did was very unacceptable. She could have handled this situation way much better than she did. Let me get into the story real quick so y'all can understand what's going on. According to the report, Stallings told detectives she not only left her daughter inside of the car while she went to work at an Amazon fulfillment center, but she left the car running and the air conditioner on. Stallings reportedly said she believed that her daughter got cold and then decided to turn the air conditioner off. Stallings reportedly said that it had been 1.5 hours since she received a text message from her daughter. When she went outside to the car, she found her child foaming at the mouth and barely breathing. She then used a hammer to break the back window of the car and then began driving to a nearby hospital. But instead, she stopped at a nearby business and called 911. A medical examiner reported, determined to the 8-year-old's cause of death was a brain herniation due to hypothermia. Stallings is being charged with 1 count of involuntary manslaughter and 1 count of child abuse. Now, so many thoughts come to your mind when it comes down to this. Now, she was inside the building at work. She said she was in there between 3.5 hours. I believe she was in there longer than that. But she was testing her child back and forth. And she realized the child was not testing her anymore. When she went outside and checked on the child was barely breathing and foaming at the mouth. My deepest condolences go to the family of this 8-year-old, because this right here is truly tragic. It could have been avoided. Now, there's so many questions when it comes down to this. Why didn't she take the child to daycare? Why didn't she take the child to a relative or a friend or somebody that is able to watch the child? Why? Why? And this is kind of off of the subject. And it's crazy how a person may be working hard, a parent working very hard, and they trying to pay for child care. Now, let's say somebody got 3 children and they paying $500 a month per child. That's $1,500 a month, or maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a month they paying to keep their child inside of daycare. I think they need to pass some type of law with that. They're sending money to Ukraine and everywhere else. Why don't they have something so these parents can pay for child care? Because child care is very expensive. Last year, I was paying for child care. It was costing me between $500 to $600 a month. Now you divide that and add that up times 12. Do the math. Lots of money. But child care is very, very, very expensive. And don't know if this woman had any relatives in North Carolina. Don't know if she have any friends down there. Who knows? They may have stayed inside that vehicle. But she could have handled this right here way much better. Way much better. Now, they said the temperatures was up to like 94 degrees that day. Between 94 and 99. But it was 94 degrees. Now, I looked this up. When it's between 94 and 95 degrees outside, with the windows up or the windows down, inside that vehicle, the temperatures can reach up to 110 degrees. 110 degrees. That is very, very, very hot. At 110 degrees, let's say I got this water bottle full of water, even with this much water that's inside of it right now. You can leave this car, not this car, you can leave this bottle inside of the vehicle for some hours. When you come back out there and get this bottle is going to be very hot, and this water on inside of the bottle will be very hot. I have said this before. I left a Hot Pocket in the back of my windshield one time while I was working somewhere. When I came back outside, I put the Hot Pocket inside the sleeve. When I came back outside, I could break the Hot Pocket loose. Cheese was just oozing out of it. That's how hot it was inside of my vehicle. So I can understand, so I can see why this child was foaming at the mouth and breathing and barely breathing, because this child was going into hypothermia mode, which means her body got overheated, got very hot. Now, she also stated that she think the child got very cold and then turned the vehicle off. Now I'm thinking to myself, 94 degrees outside, between 94 and 99 degrees outside, that child couldn't have been that cold. Not at all. Who knows? The car might have ran out of gas, or the child messed around and messed with something and didn't even know how to turn it back on. At 8 years old, that child is still a baby to me at 8 years old. Don't hardly know nothing. They know how to talk and do everything else, but 8-year-old, leaving them in the car by themselves, that is very dangerous. Now, this mother will be charged. She is charged with involuntary manslaughter and also child abuse. That's good, because she knew better by leaving that child inside the vehicle by themselves. Back into the story. So when she came back outside and seen her child foaming at the mouth and barely breathing, she then got a hammer from somewhere. I don't know where she got this hammer from. She knocked the back glass out in the back of the vehicle and proceeded to go to the hospital. Now, instead of going all the way to the hospital, she went to a nearby business. Now, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but forget that business. I'm gonna be trying to get to the hospital or some type of emergency room, some type of place where this child can get some type of help. But instead, she would rather go to a business and then call 911. And when 911 made it there, they found a child unresponsive, and the child later died at the hospital. So that right there don't make any sense. Now, if it was me, I've been zooming through the traffic, hitting HOV lanes, any type of lane I can hit, going on the side, shoulders, everything. You would have seen me on the news in a high-speed chase, trying to get my child to the hospital. But from the get-go, I would not have ever left my child inside the vehicle by themselves anyway. You shouldn't leave a child in the car by themselves, an animal in the car by themselves. Heck, a grown-up shouldn't even really be in the car by themselves when it's real hot outside. And this woman gonna leave her child inside the vehicle? Now, there's so many other things she could have did. She could have found her a job, a work-at-home job, like I just said. Who knows if her and her child might have stayed inside this vehicle. I don't know. I didn't read that in the report. But let's say she got a place she stayed, a home. You got at-home jobs now. And there are some jobs that will allow you to bring your child to work. I deliver to restaurants. I drive 18-wheelers and I deliver to restaurants. I deliver food to different restaurants. And when I went into one restaurant today, I seen a woman in there working, and her child was in the back with the tablet, looking on her tablet in the cool air. Don't not even have to wait, not even have to worry about the heat that's on the outside. There's some job that will allow you to bring your child to work. But this woman could have did some things like that. And don't know if she had any family in North Carolina, but she could have had a friend. Don't even know if she had any friends. But out of everything, she should not have ever left her child in the vehicle by themselves. One more time, my condolences go out to the family. And when it comes down to these jobs, parents, these jobs are not more important than your child. I understand it's hard out there. It's very hard out there. Very hard. The economy sucks right now. Real bad. Inflation is through the roof. It's real hard out there. I understand. Childcare is very, very, very expensive. I know this for a fact. But never, ever, ever, ever leave your child in the car by themselves while you go inside of a place and go to work. Because that, if your child die or lose their life, that business is gonna keep going, and your child is gone, and you're gonna be sitting behind bars looking stupid when you could have made a better decision than this. This mother could have did way better than this. Leave a comment, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this. What y'all think she ought to be charged with? Because I'm all over the place when it comes down to this. I'm all over the place. But at the end of the day, this mother willingly did what she did. She knew exactly what she did. She told the police and said in the report, she knew that it was very hot outside, and she knew that it was too hot to leave a child inside the vehicle by themselves. But she did it anyway. All to go inside of one of these Amazon buildings right here. See how big this building right here is? That's a big building she work inside of. The Amazon fulfillment center. Very big. Now, I know there's securities that be driving around in those facilities. I think that anybody that works at these Amazon facilities, put in the comment and let me know. Do it be security driving around in the parking lot, watching and looking at the cars and everything else? Let me know. But some businesses or some establishments or fulfillments or whatever you want to call it have security driving around, checking and making sure that there's no strange activity going on in the parking lot or somebody vandalizing somebody's vehicle. But even the security probably wouldn't even been able to do anything about that, because some security are sorry. They don't do nothing but just drive around all day in their vehicles in the cool air and just driving around, just looking. I'm not blaming this on security, because security probably was doing their job. They just probably wasn't expecting or even thinking that somebody leaving a child inside the car by themselves. This is very sad. Parents, we gotta do better. You see what this sign right here say? You see what it says? Never leave a child in the car alone. Never do that. Don't ever do that. Because remember, that job is still gonna be there. But if your child lose their life, that child life is over with. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Give me your deepest opinion about this. What you think about this? Have you ever seen something like this? Have you ever witnessed something like this? Have you ever been around something like this? If you see something, say something. Call the hotline if you see some abuse going on with these children. Report it in. Let somebody know something. If you see something, say something. And if you see something like this going on somewhere and a child is in the car by themselves and it looks like that child is suffering, get you a brick, get your jack out of your vehicle, get something, throw it through that window and try to save that child. Yeah, you might piss a parent off because they might be ignorant anyway for leaving, because they got to be ignorant for leaving a child inside a vehicle by themselves. If you see something like that, throw it through that window and save that child. At least you save that child life. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a blessed one. Holla at you.